Hi guys, it's about 12 minutes before 4 Eastern. It's about 12 minutes before 3 Central. I'm Stephen Boyle. Um, well, you're looking at the most recent update, which is the 11 a.m. Eastern update. When something the way how the National Hurricane Center does this is that when a storm is a serious threat, they update it usually every 3 to 4 hours. Um, but when something isn't a major concern, like right now, Tropical Depression 7 isn't a serious threat at this point, they update it about every 6 hours. So this is expected to become a tropical storm by the next update. You can see this is where it is right now. I'm pretty confident about that. The track, I'm a little less confident about, but we'll talk a little about that, and we'll also be looking at some analogs, which will probably help clear up some issues that we're having here. Alright, so these are the current ensemble model tracks. A little bit more south than I was expecting, and there's some reasons for that. I think it's because there is an area of high pressure to the north, and that's keeping this thing, and also a frontal system. This is kind of keeping this thing a little bit more south and west. However, I am still agreeing with the Canadian model on this one. I think it's going to probably take a track something like this. We'll have to see what happens with it, though. I do think at this time there is a possibility that this could yet again hit Mexico. However, at this time, I also think that this could possibly be affecting portions of the Gulf Coast as well. So I do have a concern about that. So we'll continue to look at, models and stuff. Here's the intensities here, and not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal, I don't think. I think this thing will generally be staying a tropical storm over the course of the period here. This, you can generally see that generally a tropical storm. Some of them even having it weaken into a depression fairly quickly. And then here's those two outliers yet again. The SHIP model and the CHF5 are the two models that are really saying that this thing will become a hurricane. Who knows? It's possible. We'll have to see about that. Through time. Really, time will only tell. But overall, I think this thing will be staying a tropical storm through most of the, period. These are the GFS ensemble tracks, and it looks a little different. And still, the GFS ensembles are half and half. Some of them are having this thing going more north and west, like this. Some of them are having it going west right into Mexico. Again, I'm not positive at this point, but this is a little bit more. The whole tracks for the ones that are going north and west are more west this time. What does that mean? Well, this is being more eyed towards, if it were to move way north and west, it would be eyed towards Florida or the Gulf Coast or portions of Georgia and North Carolina. That would be where the major concern would be at this particular point. But also there's a possibility that it could move into, Mexico. There's more. If you look at this and you look at this, you can see there's more models with the GFS that's saying this is going to go more north and west, and there's a reason for that, and I'll show you in a second. And then with the models, you can see that they're moving more west. So first of all, we're going to look at the model intensities here. And the GFS does have this thing strengthening over the next several updates, and then it has it weakening eventually. But again, overall, a tropical storm is what I think this will be. So this is the reason why it has it move. The GFS is having it move more north and west. Look at how very few. These are analogs. These are 10 storms. Okay, 10 storms in the past that have been in a similar location. In a similar location, as Tropical Depression number 7, and these are the storm's movement. So you can sort of see Cleo, Debbie in 2000, Dennis in 81, Dog, that's a weird name, Dorothy, Chantal, Iris, Chris, Beulah, and Bertha. These are the analogs, and look at where most of the analogs take this, or most of the analog storms. You can see most of them having it go through Florida and coming up like this. This is the reason why I had such a major concern about the East Coast, is because a lot of analogs, you know, a lot of past storms, which is this is history here, have it taken it into the East Coast, particularly the Southeast. Some storms had it going through you know, the New England region. You know, it's the analogs, it's history. However, there is still some potential that this could go into Mexico. So the reason why I believe that there are more ensemble, or the GFS ensembles are saying that this thing is more likely to move more north and west, is because of the analogs from previous years. So this is my current track here, and I am having this a little bit more south because I'm trying to take into account both the GFS ensembles and the models. At this time, I'm still having it go on a track like this and coming into the Gulf of Mexico. Yet again, answering the question from New Litchell Figueroa, if it were to take this track, it would probably be affecting Puerto Rico slightly, not severely. But again, there's still time for this to update overall. But this is the general track that I, at this time, I think that depression number 7 will move, is in that general direction. However, there is a possibility that it could move something like that, or that it could move something along the lines like this, and then like this. I mean, there's still time for this to update. And I know this is saying west at 23 miles an hour, and I know this looks like it's moving south and west, but the way how I did the map on Google Earth, it was tilted a little bit. So it does look like this is moving south and west, but it's not. It's if I straightened it out, it would have been, you know, straight, and it would have been showing it moving west here. So, but because it was tilted, and I wanted to include the United States, and the only way to do that is, you know, to tilt it a little bit. So, you know, but you know, so that's again what's going on here when it comes in terms of you know, the Tropical Depression number 7. I also want to talk a little about Invest number 93. It is generally fairly close to the coast of Africa right now. Actually, if we take a look here, move back, they have this area at a fairly good chance of becoming a storm. And I want to look at the tracks here, and look at this. I mean, some people were saying, oh, this thing could go into North Carolina or whatever. Still a slight possibility that that could happen, but just look at all the tracks for this at this particular time. It's all turning this thing to the north and east. Just look at it. I mean, overall, I think we can generally say that this will not be affecting land, and if it does, it'll be in Canada or something, because this is pretty far to the north. Here's the intensities, and overall, most of the models are saying that this thing will strengthen, but again, it's not going to it doesn't look like at this time and affect land. So I'm not really worried about that. So that's again what's going on here. So again, if with the information that I have now, answering the question about from I forgot his name again. I think somewhere from LP Junior 537. Again, yesterday his question was about his honeymoon in the first couple weeks of September, and if he should cancel or not, based upon the tracks of Invest number 93 and the tracks of Tropical Depression number 7. I don't think at this time there will be anything that will be affecting you, so I think that you're good. But again, there could be another wave that comes off fairly soon off the coast of Africa that could potentially be affecting us the first couple weeks of September. So again, I'll tell you what I told you yesterday. Just make sure you stay tuned for future updates, and that'll be the best. That's the best I can give you at this particular point. Alright, so that's what's going on when it comes in terms of the tropics here. Again, I know my track is different, and I know I said yesterday I was fairly confident that the track would move more north, but again, these I think the models are being a little persistent here on this thing going into Mexico, so we'll have to see what happens over the next several days here and see how the tracks go from there. All right, that's the tropical update here. I'll be back. I'll have another forecast put out for the weather across the country, and I think fairly soon I'm going to be putting up my new winter update here because some people are starting to ask about that. So I think I'm going to do that very soon. So have a great rest of the day, everyone, and watch my other videos. Take care.